In this video, we're going to talk to you about how you work 200 hours every single week. Hey everybody, it's Dan. It's the start of a new year and I hope you're very well. Hope you start the new year's going very good. And someone was just asking a question about how many hours people work and what their kind of day looks like, what time they get up. We were a little bit shocked about my answer. Start at 9, I work a couple of hours and that's pretty much it every day. And then I explained that actually I work more hours than most people do, except it's slightly different because it's not me actually working the hours. So think about this, think about your normal activities that you're doing during the day and think about how many of those actual tasks you don't need to do. Like, who else could you get to do those tasks? So, you know, in my old lettings agency, for example, instead of me going around and collecting keys, dropping keys off, moving tenants in, moving tenants out, all of that kind of thing, we used to actually have it so we'd have a person just to do that. Well, guess what? That meant that I no longer needed to do it. I'm still able to then perform the functions, it's just not me performing those low-level functions. Why the hell should I be driving from A to B, he says driving from A to B, while I can pay somebody else to do that and go and pick up the keys and waste their time? And so my time should really be spent on much higher level tasks and really operating at a mind level, in fact, so that I'm not having to physically do all the ABC stuff of actually running a business, not running a business, of actually doing the stuff in the business. So in my digital marketing company, for example, can I edit videos? Well, I can do, but is that the best use of my time? Probably not. Being in front of a camera like this is probably much better to do, and I get somebody else to edit them, and that's exactly what we do. We've got a team of video editors now. And so when we talk about working, you know, how do you work 200 hours in a week? It's not me working those hours. I work 2 hours a day. It's probably about 10. So I've got 190 hours to find. You know, 40 hours a week, 4, 8, 12, 16. You need, what, 4 or 5 people to actually work those hours. Obviously, I have to pay them, so that money's got to come from somewhere. But my time is much better spent in front of the camera, or thinking about top level stuff, or looking at investments, or looking at Forex, or seeing what it is that I need to improve on, dealing with my mental health, making sure that that's empowered, handling my education levels, making sure I'm reading and listening to podcasts and audiobooks, and I'm watching the right training, going on the right training courses, and that kind of thing. And what I like about this is that when you go on holiday and you work 0 hours, you actually end up with more stuff done than ever before, because it's not you that's having to do it, somebody else is doing all the work for you. So can you get 200 hours out of a whole week? Well, yeah, of course you can. You employ 10 people at 20 hours, or you employ 5 people at 40 hours a week, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. There's so many people right now that are working 80-hour weeks, when honestly you shouldn't be working 80-hour weeks. And I wish I knew this when I worked at Dell, for example. So at Dell I'd work, I don't know, 50, 60 hours a week. It was $100 grand a year job, and I'd be driving around, I'd be booking appointments, and I'd be doing all this stuff, and it was ridiculous because it wasn't me that actually needed to do it. It was somebody else that needed to do it. It should be somebody else that's booking appointments and all of that kind of thing, instead of me actually physically making those appointments. So think about what you're doing, and think about how your time is spent in your week this week, and think about how many low-level stuff can you pass off to someone else. If you're hitting the phones and smiling as you're dialing, and you're literally wasting time making cold calls, you should be out employing somebody else. So when I worked at Dell, I should have employed an appointment setter. I wish I'd have known what I knew now back then, but I didn't. So that's exactly what you need to be doing. That's how you get 200 hours out of your week. Take a look at some of that low-level stuff and try and work out how you can do it as well. Hope that's useful for you. We'll speak to you on the next video. My name's Dan Latto. Take care.